Let's walk on the wise path.
What if I told you that everything you know about your life, your experiences, and the world around you could be an illusion? Imagine, just for a moment, that all your senses are deceiving you, that the universe as you perceive it is nothing more than a sophisticated illusion, a simulation crafted by some higher intelligence. It sounds like the plot of a blockbuster movie, doesn't it? But what if this idea isn't just science fiction? What if there's compelling evidence that suggests our reality is not as solid as we think? In today's video, we're going to journey into one of the most mind-bending theories ever proposed, that we might be living in a simulated reality. This isn't just wild speculation. There's a growing body of thought-provoking research and philosophical arguments that support this idea. So, stick with me as we explore the clues and concepts that could suggest our universe is more like the Matrix than we ever imagined. Ready to question everything you've ever known? Let's dive in and uncover the shocking evidence that we live in a simulation. All right, so let's get to the heart of it. What does it mean to live in a simulation? When we talk about a simulated universe, we're not just talking about some simple video game scenario where we're characters moving through a predefined path. No, this theory suggests something much deeper and more intricate. Imagine a world so meticulously crafted that every experience you have feels real: the wind against your skin, the taste of your favorite food, even your deepest emotions. Now, consider that all of this could be generated by an advanced form of artificial intelligence or a supercomputer beyond our current understanding. Think about when you're dreaming. Everything feels real until you wake up. What if this waking life is just another layer of dreaming, one that we haven't awakened from yet? It's like a fish trying to understand water without ever having experienced anything else. In the same way, if we are part of a simulation, everything we know from the laws of physics to our most personal experiences could be part of a sophisticated program designed to feel completely real. It's a humbling and exhilarating thought, isn't it? So why do some scientists and philosophers believe we might be living in a simulation? One of the most intriguing pieces of evidence comes from quantum physics, particularly the famous observer effect. This phenomenon suggests that particles behave differently when we observe them compared to when they are unobserved. It's almost as if the universe only decides on a specific outcome when it's being watched. This behavior is reminiscent of how video games operate. The game only fully renders a scene when the player is looking at it to save on processing power. If our universe operates under similar rules, it could be a sign that our reality is more like a computer program than a physical, independent entity. Imagine a game where each time you turn your character around, new details load and old ones disappear. It's efficient, it saves resources, and it mirrors this strange quantum behavior. Could this mean the universe is a self-optimizing program that adjusts based on observation? It might sound like science fiction, but more and more, these quantum quirks are pushing us to rethink the very fabric of our reality. Let's dig deeper into another fascinating concept that supports the simulation hypothesis: the holographic principle. This idea originated from studies on black holes and suggests that all the information contained in a volume of space can be thought of as encoded on a boundary to that space, like a hologram on the surface of a black hole's event horizon. If that sounds confusing, think about a regular hologram. A hologram is a flat, two-dimensional surface that, when illuminated, displays a three-dimensional image. Similarly, the holographic principle posits that our entire universe could be a three-dimensional projection from a two-dimensional surface. This isn't just theoretical mumbo-jumbo. It's a legitimate scientific hypothesis that some physicists take seriously. If true, it implies that everything we perceive as real and three-dimensional, from stars and galaxies to your own body, might be more like a projection than a solid entity. It suggests that the depth and richness of our experience might be akin to watching a 3D movie, where the characters seem to leap off the screen, yet they are merely light and shadow. Could this mean that our reality is a grand cosmic projection, crafted with unimaginable precision? Now, Let's turn to the idea of digital physics, the hypothesis that the universe might be fundamentally digital, composed of tiny, discrete bits of information, much like the pixels on your computer screen. This theory suggests that just as you can zoom in on a digital image and see the individual pixels that make up the picture, if we could zoom in far enough on our universe, we might find something similar. Imagine the fabric of reality as a vast digital screen where everything is made up of the smallest possible units of space and time, much like how a digital photo is made up of tiny dots of color. This pixelated view of the universe suggests that space, time, and matter might not be infinitely divisible, but are composed of the smallest possible building blocks. This aligns with the idea that our reality could be a sophisticated computer simulation where everything is encoded in a digital format. If our universe has a smallest unit, like a pixel, then it could mean that there is a finite resolution to reality, a limit to how detailed the simulation can get. This theory reshapes our understanding of existence, suggesting that we might be living in a universe much like a high-resolution digital display created by some cosmic programmer. Have you ever wondered why there are speed limits in the universe, like the speed of light? Some scientists think that these limits could be due to computational constraints, similar to the limitations in a computer simulation. Just like a computer program can only handle so much data before it slows down or crashes, our universe might have built-in limits to manage the processing power it needs to simulate reality. The speed of light could be seen as the maximum speed at which information can be processed and transmitted within our simulated reality. It's as if the universe has a bandwidth limit that prevents anything from moving faster than a certain speed. Similarly, the concept of quantum uncertainty, where we can't simultaneously know the exact position and momentum of a particle, might be a sign of the universe's data-saving techniques, like a video game that only renders what's necessary to create the illusion of a complete world. If our universe is indeed a simulation, these constraints might not just be random quirks of physics, but deliberate design choices to optimize the computational efficiency of our reality. Fascinating, isn't it? Now, let's talk about something that might give you chills: the Mandela effect. This phenomenon refers to instances where large groups of people remember something differently from how it actually occurred. For example, many people recall Nelson Mandela dying in prison during the 1980, even though he was released and lived until 2013. Other examples include remembering a famous brand's logo or a well-known quote differently than it actually is. Some suggest that these could be signs of glitches in our simulated reality, little errors or inconsistencies that pop up because the simulation isn't perfect. Think of it like finding a bug in a video game. Maybe you walk through a wall that should be solid or see an object that flickers in and out of existence. If our reality is a simulation, then these Mandela effects could be minor bugs or errors in the code. Maybe the programmers are making changes, and some of us are noticing the discrepancies. It's a bit unsettling, isn't it? The idea that our collective memories might not be as reliable as we think, and that these glitches could be hints that our reality is, in fact, simulated. So what does all this talk of simulations mean for consciousness and free will? If we are indeed living in a simulation, what does that say about our thoughts, choices, and sense of self? Are we just sophisticated algorithms responding to stimuli in a pre-programmed way, or is there something more? Some theorists believe that consciousness could be the one aspect of ourselves that is truly outside the simulation. Think of a video game. While the characters on screen follow pre-programmed paths, the player controlling them exists in the real world, making decisions. If consciousness is the player rather than the character, it might suggest that while our bodies and environments are simulated, our thoughts and experiences could be genuine and originate from beyond the simulation. This perspective offers a fascinating twist on the concept of free will. Maybe our choices aren't as bound by the simulation as everything else. It's like playing a game with a set of rules. You can't change the rules, but you can choose how you play within them. This could mean that our conscious decisions still matter, even in a simulated world, as they might be what truly defines our existence. Let's explore another intriguing idea, the simulation argument and its relation to the Fermi paradox. The Fermi paradox questions why we haven't found any signs of extraterrestrial life despite the vastness of the universe. One possible explanation, if we are living in a simulation, is that extraterrestrial civilizations simply don't exist because they were never programmed into our simulated reality. Alternatively, these civilizations could be aware that they're in a simulation and choose to remain hidden to avoid disturbing the experiment or breaking the rules of the simulation. Philosopher Nick Bostrom's simulation argument takes this a step further by suggesting that one of three possibilities must be true. Either civilizations never reach a level of technological advancement capable of creating simulations, they choose not to run simulations, or we are almost certainly living in one. If you think about it, the fact that we're considering the simulation hypothesis at all might be an indicator that we're getting closer to figuring out which of these possibilities is correct. And if we are in a simulation, discovering this truth might just be the final frontier of human knowledge, the ultimate Easter egg hidden by our cosmic creators. So, what does the possibility of living in a simulation mean for us in our everyday lives? Should we feel disillusioned or discouraged by the idea that our reality might be artificial? Absolutely not. In fact, this perspective could add a new layer of meaning and purpose to our existence. Think about it this way. If we are part of a simulation, that means there's a reason for our existence, a purpose behind the creation of this simulated world. Just like in any video game, the objective isn't just to reach the end, but to learn, grow, and experience everything along the way. Knowing that our lives might be part of some grand experiment or cosmic game could inspire us to live more fully, to seek out meaningful experiences, and to connect deeply with others. And if our consciousness exists outside the simulation, then every choice we make could have significance beyond what we can currently comprehend. So, instead of seeing the simulation hypothesis as a nihilistic idea, we could embrace it as an invitation to explore, question, and find deeper meaning in our everyday actions and relationships. After all, if life is a game, let's make sure we play it well and enjoy every moment. Are we really living in a simulation? The jury is still out, but exploring this idea opens up a whole new way of thinking about reality. It pushes us to question the nature of existence, to reevaluate what we take for granted, and to explore possibilities that we might have previously dismissed as impossible. The simulation hypothesis encourages us to remain curious and to keep an open mind. Whether or not it turns out to be true, it provides a framework for understanding our universe in a new light and can inspire us to think more deeply about the nature of consciousness, the universe, and our place in it. And if we are in a simulation, well, maybe that's not such a bad thing. Maybe it means that there's more to discover, more to learn, and more to experience than we could ever imagine. So, let's keep questioning, keep exploring, and never stop wondering. Because in a world where anything is possible, the journey of discovery is just beginning. Thanks for joining me on this incredible journey today. Stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video. If you've enjoyed this deep dive into the possibility that we live in a simulation, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more mind-bending content. And don't forget to ring that notification bell so you never miss an update. What do you think? Are we living in a simulation, or is this all just a fascinating thought experiment? Share your theories in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think. Let's keep this conversation going, because the more we explore these ideas together, the closer we might get to understanding the true nature of our reality. And remember, no matter what you believe, always stay curious and open-minded. Who knows what incredible discoveries are waiting just around the corner? Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and most importantly, keep dreaming. See you soon.